What if the camera filmmakers have been waiting for is finally about to return? For years, the Sony A7S III has been one of the greatest low-light video cameras ever made. But now, new leaks and industry rumors suggest Sony may finally be preparing the long-awaited A7S IV, and if they're true, this could become one of the biggest camera launches of 2026. In this video, we'll break down every major leak, what's believable, what's still speculation, and whether the Sony A7S IV is really worth waiting for. Stay until the end because one rumored upgrade could completely change low-light filmmaking. Why the Sony A7S IV is one of the most anticipated cameras in the world. Before we talk about the leaks, we first need to understand why the Sony A7S IV has generated so much excitement. This isn't just another camera that receives a small update every couple of years. The A7S series has earned a reputation that very few cameras in history can match. Whenever Sony releases a new A7S model, filmmakers around the world stop and pay attention because they know it is designed with one goal in mind: to capture incredible video in situations where many other cameras begin to struggle. When the Sony A7S III arrived, it quickly became a favorite among professionals. Wedding filmmakers trusted it because it could handle dark reception halls without falling apart. Documentary creators loved its ability to shoot in unpredictable lighting. Travel filmmakers appreciated its compact body combined with professional-level video quality. YouTubers, commercial production teams, independent filmmakers, and content creators all found themselves reaching for the same camera because it consistently delivered reliable results. It wasn't the camera with the highest megapixel count, and Sony never intended it to be. Instead, it focused on what truly mattered for video creators: exceptional low-light performance, beautiful color, fast autofocus, impressive dynamic range, excellent battery life, dependable thermal management, and recording features that professionals could rely on every single day. Years have passed since the release of the A7S III, yet something remarkable has happened. Instead of fading into history, it continues to compete with much newer cameras. That alone speaks volumes about how far ahead of its time it really was. While other manufacturers have introduced exciting new models packed with fresh technology, thousands of filmmakers still choose the A7S III because it continues to produce stunning footage that meets professional standards. Few cameras remain this relevant for so long, and that lasting popularity has only increased the anticipation for its successor. But the camera industry has changed dramatically. Competitors are now offering higher frame rates, faster sensor readout speeds, internal RAW recording, AI-powered autofocus systems, more advanced image stabilization, improved heat management, and increasingly sophisticated video codecs. Every major brand is fighting for the attention of filmmakers, and each new release raises the standard even higher. Sony knows this better than anyone. Simply releasing a camera with a few small upgrades would not satisfy the expectations surrounding the A7S name. The company understands that the next model has to feel like a genuine leap forward rather than a routine refresh. That is exactly why every new rumor creates such enormous interest across the filmmaking community. Camera forums fill with discussions, YouTube creators analyze every possible clue, and industry insiders search for hints about Sony's next move. The longer Sony remains silent, the more people believe the company is working on something significant. Rather than rushing another product to market, many believe Sony is taking its time to build a camera capable of leading the professional video industry for years to come. If the recent leaks are even partially accurate, the Sony A7S IV may not simply replace the A7S III, it could redefine what filmmakers expect from a compact mirrorless cinema camera. That possibility is exactly why so many professionals continue to wait, hoping that Sony's next announcement will once again raise the bar for low-light filmmaking. The biggest leak that has everyone talking? Now let's move to the leak that has completely changed the conversation around the Sony A7S IV. While Sony has remained officially silent, multiple industry insiders and reliable rumor sources suggest that development of the next-generation A7S camera is progressing, and the rumored upgrades are far more significant than many expected. None of these features have been confirmed by Sony, so they should still be treated as speculation, but the consistency of the reports has caught the attention of filmmakers worldwide. The biggest rumor points toward an entirely new image sensor paired with Sony's latest processing engine. Instead of simply increasing megapixels, Sony is reportedly focusing on what professional video creators care about most: faster sensor readout, cleaner image quality, improved dynamic range, and dramatically better rolling shutter performance. If this proves true, it could solve one of the few remaining weaknesses that filmmakers have continued to mention about previous mirrorless cameras. Another exciting part of the leak involves recording performance. Reports suggest the A7S IV could support more advanced internal recording formats, giving creators greater flexibility during color grading and post-production. Many filmmakers are hoping for higher bit depth recording, improved compression options, faster frame rates, and expanded recording modes that reduce the need for external recorders. These changes would allow creators to capture more information directly inside the camera while keeping their setup smaller and more efficient. There is also growing speculation that Sony has redesigned the camera's internal architecture to improve heat management. Long recording sessions have become increasingly important for documentary work, interviews, podcasts, live events, weddings, and commercial productions. If Sony has developed a more efficient cooling system, filmmakers may finally enjoy extended recording times with greater confidence, even when shooting demanding formats for hours at a time. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of these leaks is that they don't sound like random wish lists from the internet. Many of the rumored features follow the same technological direction Sony has already introduced across its recent professional cameras and cinema lineup. Faster processors, smarter software, improved autofocus, and better video workflows have become clear priorities for the company. That makes these rumors feel more believable than many previous reports. Of course, it's important to separate excitement from certainty. Until Sony officially unveils the camera, no specification should be considered final. Features can change during development, launch dates can shift, and rumored hardware may never reach the finished product. But if even a majority of these leaks turn out to be accurate, the Sony A7S IV could arrive as one of the most advanced video-focused mirrorless cameras Sony has ever built. And if that's only the beginning, the next rumored upgrade may be the one filmmakers have been waiting for the most. Why the A7S IV could become the ultimate low-light camera again? If there is one reason the Sony A7S series became legendary, it is its ability to see what other cameras simply cannot. Long before the words low-light king became associated with the A7S lineup, filmmakers were already pushing these cameras into situations that seemed impossible. Whether it was a candlelit wedding, a nighttime documentary, a city illuminated only by streetlights, or wildlife filmed before sunrise, the A7S cameras repeatedly proved that darkness did not have to mean sacrificing image quality. That reputation is exactly why the newest leaks have generated so much excitement. According to recent rumors, Sony's biggest priority with the A7S IV is not adding more megapixels, but making every pixel work harder. Industry insiders suggest the company is focusing on cleaner high ISO performance, faster sensor readout, improved noise reduction, and greater dynamic range. If these reports are accurate, filmmakers could capture brighter, cleaner footage while preserving more detail in both the darkest shadows and the brightest highlights. That would provide significantly greater flexibility during editing, especially for creators who rely heavily on color grading. One of the most frustrating challenges in low-light filmmaking is balancing exposure without destroying image quality. Raise the ISO too high, and distracting noise begins to appear. Lower the exposure too much, and valuable shadow detail disappears forever. Sony has historically handled this balance better than most manufacturers, and the leaks suggest the A7S IV could push those limits even further. Imagine recording a nighttime street scene with natural colors, clean shadows, and detailed highlights, all without carrying bulky lighting equipment. For solo creators and run-and-gun filmmakers, that kind of performance could be a game-changer. The rumors also point toward improvements in color science under difficult lighting conditions. Mixed lighting has always been one of the hardest situations for any camera. Neon signs, LED panels, tungsten bulbs, and moonlight can all appear in the same frame, making skin tones difficult to reproduce accurately. If Sony has refined its image processing, filmmakers may spend less time correcting color in post-production and more time focusing on storytelling. Cleaner color straight out of the camera could save hours during editing while delivering a more natural cinematic look. Another area generating excitement is rolling shutter performance. Low-light cameras often face compromises between image quality and readout speed, but several reports suggest Sony may have dramatically improved sensor readout. Faster readout means less distortion during quick camera movements. smoother motion when tracking fast-moving subjects, and more confidence when shooting handheld. For sports videographers, event filmmakers, and documentary creators who frequently work in unpredictable environments, this improvement alone could justify waiting for the A7S IV. Perhaps the biggest reason filmmakers remain hopeful is Sony's own history. The company has never built the A7S series around marketing numbers alone. Instead, every generation has focused on solving real-world problems faced by professionals. If Sony continues that philosophy, the A7S IV may once again become the camera creators reach for when the lights go down and every other camera begins to struggle. And according to the next round of leaks, low-light performance may not even be the feature that surprises filmmakers the most. AI could be the biggest upgrade no one expected. While everyone is focused on low-light performance, another part of the Sony A7S IV leaks could be just as revolutionary: artificial intelligence. Over the past few years, Sony has invested heavily in AI-powered camera technology, and many industry insiders believe those advancements are finally making their way into the A7S series. If the rumors are true, this may not just be a camera that captures beautiful footage. It could become a camera that actively helps filmmakers create it. One of the biggest leaked improvements is Sony's next-generation autofocus system. The A7S III already has one of the most reliable autofocus systems available, but camera technology has evolved rapidly since its release. New reports suggest the A7S IV could feature Sony's latest AI recognition engine, capable of identifying and tracking subjects with even greater precision. Instead of simply locking onto a face, the camera may be able to understand exactly what it's looking at, recognizing humans, animals, birds, vehicles, and other moving subjects with incredible speed and accuracy. Imagine filming a fast-moving athlete running directly toward the camera, a bride walking down a dimly lit aisle, or a travel vlog through crowded city streets. In situations where focus can be lost in a split second, an AI-powered autofocus system could continuously predict subject movement, keeping every shot sharp without forcing the filmmaker to constantly adjust settings. For creators working alone, this kind of reliability could feel like having an experienced camera operator standing beside them. The leaks also suggest Sony may improve real-time eye tracking, making it faster, smarter, and more dependable than ever before. This is especially important for interviews, documentaries, YouTube videos, and commercial work where maintaining perfect eye focus instantly makes footage appear more professional. Even when a subject briefly turns away, moves behind an object, or walks through difficult lighting, the AI system could reportedly maintain focus far more effectively than previous generations. But autofocus isn't the only area expected to benefit. Rumors indicate Sony may significantly upgrade its image stabilization system by combining mechanical stabilization with more advanced AI-assisted digital processing. Handheld footage could become noticeably smoother while still preserving the natural movement that filmmakers love. This would allow creators to capture cinematic shots without always relying on gimbals or expensive stabilization equipment, making professional quality filmmaking more accessible in fast-paced environments. Another exciting possibility is that Sony's AI processor could optimize exposure, white balance, and subject detection in real time. Rather than forcing creators to constantly adjust settings as lighting changes, the camera may intelligently adapt while preserving natural colors and maintaining consistent image quality. For event filmmakers who constantly move between indoor and outdoor locations, this could save valuable time and reduce the number of missed shots. Perhaps the most impressive part is that these AI features aren't designed to replace the filmmaker, they're designed to remove technical distractions. Instead of worrying about whether autofocus will fail or stabilization will ruin a shot, creators can focus entirely on composition, storytelling, and capturing authentic moments. If Sony delivers everything these leaks suggest, the A7S IV may become one of the smartest filmmaking cameras ever built, combining world-class image quality with intelligent technology that quietly works in the background to make every shot easier to capture. The features filmmakers have been asking Sony to add for years. As exciting as the current leaks are, there is another reason so many creators are watching every rumor closely. The Sony A7S IV isn't just expected to improve what's already there, it's expected to finally deliver many of the features filmmakers have been requesting for years. If Sony listens to its professional community, the A7S IV could become far more than an upgrade. it could become one of the most complete hybrid video cameras ever built. One of the biggest requests is internal RAW recording. For years, filmmakers have relied on external recorders to unlock maximum image quality from Sony cameras. While external recorders certainly have their place, they also add extra weight, additional batteries, cables, larger camera rigs, and more complicated workflows. Many creators hope Sony will finally make high-quality internal RAW recording a standard feature, allowing professionals to travel lighter while maintaining maximum flexibility during post-production. If the leaks are accurate, Sony may be moving closer to that goal. Another highly requested feature is open gate recording. Today's filmmakers rarely create content for only one platform. A single project might need to be delivered in widescreen for YouTube, vertical for TikTok, square for Instagram, and multiple other formats for clients. Open gate recording captures the camera's full sensor, giving editors much more freedom to crop footage without sacrificing quality. It is one of the most requested features among modern content creators, and many believe Sony knows exactly how important it has become. High frame rate recording is another area where expectations continue to grow. Slow motion footage has become an essential storytelling tool, whether it's capturing dramatic action scenes, emotional wedding moments, wildlife behavior, sports, or cinematic B-roll. The rumors suggest Sony could expand high frame rate recording while maintaining excellent image quality, allowing filmmakers to create smoother slow-motion footage without major compromises in resolution or dynamic range. Professional monitoring tools are also high on many filmmakers' wish lists. Features like false color exposure, waveform monitors, vector scopes, improved focus assist, advanced zebras, and customizable monitoring overlays are already common in dedicated cinema cameras. Bringing more of these tools into the A7S IV would allow filmmakers to make more accurate exposure and focus decisions directly inside the camera without relying on expensive external monitors. Storage performance is another area where creators expect meaningful improvements. Faster CF Express support, quicker buffer clearing, more efficient codecs, and higher recording bit rates would make editing smoother while reducing delays during professional productions. Combined with longer battery life and more efficient heat management, the A7S IV could become a camera capable of handling full production days without constantly interrupting the creative process. Perhaps the most important expectation isn't any single feature at all, it's reliability. Professional filmmakers don't simply buy cameras because they have impressive specifications on paper. They buy cameras they can trust when there are no second chances. Weddings cannot be reshot. Documentary moments happen only once. Commercial productions operate on tight schedules. Live events continue whether the camera is ready or not. That is why reliability has always been one of the A7S series' greatest strengths. And many believe Sony understands that protecting this reputation is just as important as introducing exciting new technology. If even half of these rumored improvements become reality, the Sony A7S IV won't simply compete with today's best mirrorless cameras. It could become the camera that many filmmakers build their entire workflow around for years to come. And according to the latest industry speculation, Sony may already be much closer to revealing it than most people realize. Why 2026 could be the perfect time for Sony to reveal it? Now, the biggest question is not only what the Sony A7S IV will offer, but when Sony could finally reveal it. For years, filmmakers have been waiting, guessing, and watching every movement from Sony because the A7S III has remained on the market for a long time without a direct successor. That long silence has made people even more curious. Every small rumor, every supply chain whisper, and every camera industry prediction now feels important because creators know one thing very clearly. The A7S line is due for a serious return. The reason 2026 feels so important is because the camera market is no longer the same as it was when the A7S III first arrived. Filmmakers today are not asking for simple upgrades. They are asking for cameras that can handle professional video, social media content, documentaries, weddings, travel films, commercial work, podcasts, interviews, and cinematic projects all in one body. The modern creator needs a camera that can move fast, record longer, focus smarter, perform better in low light, and deliver footage that looks professional without requiring a huge cinema rig. Sony understands this shift better than almost anyone. The company has spent years building powerful cinema cameras, advanced mirrorless systems, AI autofocus technology, and professional video tools. Now, many people believe Sony may be preparing to bring those advancements together inside the A7S IV. That is why 2026 makes so much sense. It gives Sony enough time to create a camera that feels like a true next-generation product instead of a small refresh. Another reason 2026 could be the perfect launch window is competition. Other camera brands are no longer standing still. Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, Fujifilm, DJI, and even action camera companies are all fighting for attention from creators. Some brands are pushing higher resolution, others are improving autofocus. Some are offering internal RAW recording, open-gate video, advanced stabilization, and powerful video tools at lower prices than before. Sony cannot simply rely on the A7S name forever. If the company wants to keep filmmakers loyal, the next A7S camera must arrive with enough power to remind the industry why this series became legendary in the first place. But Sony is also known for being careful with major releases. They don't always rush a camera just because people are asking for it. When Sony releases an important model, especially one connected to a respected line like the A7S series, they usually want it to feel complete. That may be one reason the wait has felt so long. Sony may not want to release the A7S IV until the sensor, processor, autofocus system, cooling design, recording formats, and overall workflow are strong enough to justify the hype. This is where the leak becomes even more interesting. If the rumors about a new sensor, improved processing engine, AI autofocus, better stabilization, stronger heat control, and professional recording features are true, then Sony may have been waiting for the technology to reach the right level. Instead of giving creators a camera with 1 or 2 upgrades, Sony may be preparing something that touches almost every part of the filmmaking experience. The possible announcement timing also creates a lot of excitement. Camera companies often reveal major products before big industry events, during special launch presentations, or ahead of important sales seasons. If Sony is truly preparing the A7S IV for 2026, then the months leading up to the official announcement could become filled with stronger leaks, more detailed rumors, possible certification listings, early production hints, and maybe even leaked images of the camera body. This is usually when the excitement becomes intense, because every new detail brings filmmakers closer to knowing whether the wait was worth it. Of course, we have to be careful. Until Sony officially announces the camera, nothing is guaranteed. A rumored release window can change, features can be delayed, specifications can shift before launch, even trusted sources can sometimes receive incomplete information. But the fact that so many creators are still talking about the A7S IV shows how powerful this camera's reputation still is. Very few cameras can stay unannounced for this long and still create this much excitement. If Sony reveals the A7S IV in 2026, it may not just be another product launch. It could become one of the biggest moments in the camera world, especially for filmmakers who have been waiting for a true successor to the low-light king. And if the final camera delivers the upgrades people are hoping for, Sony may once again remind everyone that the A7S series was never built to follow trends. It was built to set them. Should you wait for the Sony A7S IV or buy another camera now? Now we arrive at the question every filmmaker, YouTuber, videographer, and camera buyer is asking. Should you wait for the Sony A7S IV or should you buy a camera right now? This is not a small decision because cameras are not cheap anymore. A professional camera body is not just a gadget you buy for fun. It becomes part of your work, your business, your creativity, and sometimes your entire income. When you choose a camera, you are not only choosing specs on a screen, you are choosing the tool that will capture weddings, client projects, YouTube videos, documentaries, interviews, short films, travel stories, product shoots, and moments that may never happen again. That is why the Sony A7S IV rumor feels so important. People are not waiting because they love rumors. They are waiting because the A7S name has earned serious trust. If you already own a camera that is still doing the job, then waiting may be the smarter move. If your current camera can still record clean footage, focus well enough, handle your clients, and help you create without major problems, then there is no need to rush into a new purchase today. The A7S IV could bring major improvements in low-light performance, autofocus, stabilization, recording formats, heat control, and professional video tools. If those rumored upgrades become real, Buying too early may leave you feeling like you upgraded right before the camera you truly wanted arrived. But there is another side to this. If your current camera is holding you back right now, then waiting forever can become dangerous. A camera that has not been officially announced cannot help you shoot tomorrow's project. It cannot film your next wedding, your next client video, your next YouTube upload, or your next documentary scene. Some creators spend so much time waiting for the perfect future camera that they stop creating in the present. That is one of the biggest mistakes in filmmaking. A powerful unreleased camera is still useless if it keeps you from making real work today. So the answer depends on your situation. If you are a professional filmmaker and your current camera is costing you opportunities, missing focus, overheating, struggling in low light, or failing during long recordings, then you may need to upgrade sooner. A camera that solves your problem today can be more valuable than a rumored camera that may arrive months later. Your audience and clients do not care whether you waited for the newest model. They care whether your footage looks good, your story is strong, and your work is delivered on time. But if you are specifically waiting for the next great low-light video camera, the A7S IV may be worth watching closely. The A7S series has always been different from normal hybrid cameras. It was never created for people who only want high megapixels or flashy marketing numbers. It was built for video creators who care about clean shadows, beautiful night footage, reliable autofocus, strong dynamic range, long recording sessions, and footage that holds together when the light disappears. If that is the type of camera you need, then the A7S IV could be exactly the kind of upgrade worth waiting for. Another important thing to think about is price. When the Sony A7S IV launches, it will almost certainly not be cheap. New Sony cameras usually arrive at premium prices, especially when they include advanced video features. So even if the A7S IV becomes one of the best cameras of 2026, not every creator will need it on day one. Some people may be better off buying a discounted A7S III, a used cinema camera, or another mirrorless option that already exists. The best camera is not always the newest one. The best camera is the one that matches your work, your budget, and your real shooting needs. Still, there is a reason so many filmmakers are excited. If Sony brings a new sensor, improved low-light performance, AI autofocus, better stabilization, internal professional recording options, stronger cooling, and modern workflow features into one compact body, the A7S IV could become a camera that stays relevant for years. That is what made the A7S III so special. It was not just good at launch. It remained useful, trusted, and respected long after newer cameras appeared. If Sony repeats that success, the A7S IV may not be a camera you buy for 1 year. It may become a camera you build your creative work around for the next 5 years or more. For YouTubers, the A7S IV could be especially powerful if the leaks about autofocus and stabilization are true. Many creators work alone. They set up the camera, press record, sit in front of the lens, and trust the camera to keep them sharp. Better eye tracking, smarter subject detection, and cleaner footage in difficult lighting would make content creation easier and more professional. If you film talking head videos, product reviews, travel vlogs, night scenes, studio content, or cinematic B-roll, the A7S IV could offer a serious advantage. For wedding filmmakers, the possible upgrade may be even more important. Weddings are unpredictable. Lighting changes constantly. Moments happen once. You cannot ask the bride to walk down the aisle again because your camera missed focus. You cannot repeat the first dance because your footage was too noisy. You cannot pause the event because your camera overheated. This is exactly the type of high-pressure work where a reliable A7S IV could become a dream tool. If Sony improves low-light quality and autofocus while keeping the body dependable, many wedding filmmakers may consider it an instant upgrade. For documentary creators, the A7S IV could also be a major weapon. Documentary filmmaking often means working with available light, fast movement, real people, and unexpected scenes. You do not always get to control the environment. You may be filming inside a dark room, outside at night, in a crowded street, or during emotional moments that cannot be repeated. A camera that can quietly capture clean, stable, focused footage in difficult conditions gives documentary filmmakers more freedom. That is why the A7S line has always had such strong appeal in real-world filmmaking. But here is the most honest truth. Do not wait for the A7S IV just because the internet is excited. Wait because it fits your work. Wait because your projects need what this camera may offer. Wait, because low light performance, video reliability, autofocus, and professional recording tools matter to you. If you mostly shoot photos, landscapes, studio portraits, or high-resolution commercial work, another Sony camera may make more sense. The A7S IV will likely be a video-first camera, and that is exactly why filmmakers love it, but it may not be the perfect choice for everyone. The smartest decision is to watch the leaks, but not become controlled by them. Rumors can guide your thinking, but they should not control your creativity. If you need a camera now, buy what helps you create now. If your current gear is still strong, then waiting for Sony's official announcement could save you from making a rushed decision. And when the A7S IV is finally revealed, compare the real features, real price, real performance, and real reviews before deciding. Because at the end of the day, the camera does not make you a filmmaker. Your eye, your story, your discipline, your editing, your lighting, your sound, and your consistency matter more than any camera body. But the right camera can remove limitations. It can make difficult shots easier. It can give you confidence in dark places. It can help you capture moments you may have missed before. And that is why the Sony A7S IV is so exciting. If the leaks are true, this may not just be another mirrorless camera. It may be Sony's attempt to reclaim the title of the ultimate low-light filmmaking machine. And for creators who have been waiting patiently, the A7S IV could be the return of a legend. So the Sony A7S IV is still not officially confirmed, but the excitement around this camera is already impossible to ignore. Every rumor, every leak, and every small clue points toward one clear truth. Filmmakers are ready for the next chapter of the A7S series. The A7S III became legendary because it gave creators confidence in the dark. It proved that a compact mirrorless camera could deliver professional video, reliable autofocus, strong dynamic range, clean low-light footage, and dependable performance when the pressure was high. But now, years later, the industry has changed. Filmmakers want more power, more intelligence, better stabilization, stronger recording options, faster processing, and a camera that can survive the demands of modern content creation. That is why the A7S IV matters so much. It is not only about a new Sony camera. It is about whether Sony can bring back the low-light king with enough strength to dominate 2026. If the leaks are true, this camera could become one of the most important video-focused mirrorless cameras of the year. It could be the tool that wedding filmmakers trust in dark halls, documentary creators use in unpredictable locations, YouTubers rely on for sharp autofocus, and cinematic storytellers carry when they need powerful footage without a massive rig. But until Sony makes the official announcement, we should treat every leak with excitement and caution. Rumors can be powerful, but real performance is what truly matters. Specs on paper may create hype, but real-world footage, overheating tests, autofocus reliability, low-light samples, battery life, and professional reviews will decide whether the A7S IV truly deserves the crown. So here is the final question. If Sony releases the A7S IV in 2026 with a new sensor, better low-light performance, AI autofocus, stronger stabilization, internal professional recording, and improved heat control, will you wait for it, or will you buy another camera first? Comment below and tell me, are you waiting for the Sony A7S IV? And if you want more camera leaks, upcoming releases, honest breakdowns, and filmmaking gear updates, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because the next major Sony announcement could be closer than we think. The low-light king may be returning, and if Sony gets this right, 2026 could belong to the A7S IV.